Hi everybody. Hey, today I'm going to show you how I made a beautiful hurricane vase and a beautiful wicker tray using pieces of a wicker basket that I got at the Dollar Tree. I took the pieces apart and, for one, I used the top of the wicker basket to make handles for a wicker round. I have a round, I guess it's a placemat it's a real sturdy placemat from the Dollar General, and I use the top of the wicker basket to make handles, and you're going to see me struggle a little bit there, as well as the hurricane vase. I did struggle a little bit with adhesives, but I got through it and they both turned out beautiful. So first, I'd like to say thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. And if you like what you see, please hit like, or subscribe would be the big one. Please subscribe. I really appreciate all my subscribers. And thank you so much. And let's go ahead and watch the video. And away we go. This is like take 49. So I took the top off of this wicker basket that I've been using. It's from the Dollar Tree, the basket is, and I've been using this for different DIYs. So I've already cut it apart and taken pieces of the wicker out. So there I'm showing you to make sure that you have the top part of the placemat that I got from the Dollar General. And that thing is really sturdy. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I figured a tray, but I didn't know which handles I wanted to put on it. I didn't want to do just a simple rope, and one day I was looking at that wicker basket and I thought, wait a minute, that wicker would look really cool on this, and they're two different colors, so it kind of gives it a contrast. But this wicker is coming apart, so it's really pliable on the outside, so you can move it around and bend it easily. You got to take it easy on it, but it does bend and contort to different positions. You just have to be careful with it. But the inside pieces are stiff. It's like they took a bunch of smaller pieces inside and just wrapped the one piece of wider or longer wicker around it. So to fix this problem, I'm going to take twine and I'm going to wrap it with the twine in the center and on the ends, and that will hold that together. Now, the hot glue and the wicker do not adhere to each other. After the hot glue dries, you can just pluck it right off. It doesn't even take part of the wicker with it or anything. It just comes right off. So after, you're basically going to stick the hot glue on the twine and stick the twine to itself, to another piece of twine, which is basically what I had to do here. But once you get it started, of course, you're all right. So kind of twisting and keeping it kind of loose. I didn't want it to be too tight. And it actually made it look really pretty with this twine on there. So I'm just telling you to go ahead and do the other piece. And then I thought, well, let me get back on here and just say it to make sure that you stop the twine. You start and stop the twine so that you have the same amount on each side. Each side of the handle. You want it to be even, in other words. So I don't know if I had decided to wrap the ends or not, but I had a lot of trouble with the adhesive, like I said. The hot glue doesn't want to stick to the wicker. I don't know why that is, but once it dries, you can just peel it right back off again. So it was a conundrum. What am I going to do to get these handles to stick to the side of the placemat? So I'm going to use twine. So I decided to wrap the ends and maybe that would be, that would get a better adhesion to the wicker placemat. And it turned out, it didn't stick at all. So so I'd stick one side of it down, and then I would go to curve it to make the handle, and it would pop that right back off again. So I believe that the total problem I had was lack of patience. When I put the hot glue on, you expect the hot glue to be kind of an instant thing, but it doesn't dry as fast when it's on the wicker for some reason. So after I tried the hot glue, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm gluing the twine to itself, so it's sticking to its, what was already on there. Once you get it started, you're okay. So anyway, when I stick one side of the, and burning this off was awesome. It left burn marks on the wicker as well as the twine, so it made it look really, really cool, really rustic. So anyway, I try the hot glue first, and when it doesn't work, I switch to Crafter's Closet glue it's like Motto glue from the Dollar General, and that doesn't work out. Then I went to super glue, and oh my gosh, I made such a mess with that super glue. I stuck my hands together, I stuck my fingers together. I had paper towels stuck all over me. I had to poke a hole in the side of the glue, and I didn't take care with what I was sticking it to, and oh my goodness, it was terrible. But anyways, as soon as I bend this, it pops right back off. So there, I gave up on the hot glue, which I shouldn't have. I should have thought about it for a few minutes, but you get frustrated, and the important thing is I didn't give up, and I really wanted to give up. But I really wanted this because this is so cute. So I really wanted this to work out, and I'm just showing you how it's just gushing out of the edge. But anyways, that's the Crafter's Closet glue from the Dollar General, and I really is my go-to glue, but it needs a little bit of time to set. And as you can see, like how it's cut like a pizza, it's got the twine, and it looks like how you would cut a pizza, the placemat there. Well, I'm going in between the twine, and that's one of my problems right there, but I didn't realize it then. So, but everything I tried, as soon as I would twist that to make a handle out of it, it would pop it right back off. So I'm trying to tape it on there to give that Crafter's Closet glue time to set up a little bit, but it's just not working out. So off to the super glue. Now I couldn't get the cap off, so I poked a hole in it, and it worked fine at first. So there, I poked a little hole, and now I'm putting it onto the handle, and I'm holding that, and I'm stuck to it. My thumb is stuck to it. So after a few times of gluing myself to it, I try the tape again, and only then I start to think, oh wait a minute, it's going to stick to the tape. I'm not going to be able to get the tape off. Well, I wasn't careful enough with that, and I noticed that it gushed out on that green mat, and I'm like, no, not my favorite green mat. So I picked it up, and when I did, I squeezed it. Oh my gosh, that glue went everywhere. I mean everywhere. So I had to stop. It was all over my tripod. It was all over, not just the green mat, it was on everything. And it was all over my hands. I glued my fingernails to the tips of my fingers. I had to hold my hands open until it dried because I knew my fingers were going to stick together. But I had paper towel all over my fingers. I have those wipes that have alcohol in them. I had those stuck to my fingers. It was just crazy. I had it everywhere. And at that point, I did give up for the day. And I had, I had to scrub that super glue off. I'm still picking it off of the tops of my fingernails. It was bad. So anyways, the handles fell off again, so the super glue didn't work. So now I'm going to, since I've realized the pizza pie slice there, if I put it right on the twine, the pizza slices there, the V's, if I put it right on the twine and I just hold it until that hot glue has time to dry, then it'll stay. And it's pretty sturdy. I wouldn't carry a glass of hot cocoa on it, but for sitting there looking pretty, it's absolutely perfect. So I'm putting the twine on the twine is what I'm doing. So, and plus, I was trying to get this rounded handle out of it, and bending it too far, and this way it's not it's not having to bend too far. You give it a little twist with your fingers first, and it kind of pre-bends it, so then you can use your hot glue as soon as I put a new stick in there. So anyways, then the hot glue, I just had to be patient with it. But the important thing is I didn't give up on it. I didn't just throw it into the corner and say that's it, I ain't even messing with it no more. So perseverance, people. Perseverance. So, just like so many other things in my life, you want to give up, but you don't. You just wake up and you just keep trucking on. So here it is, all nice and pretty. You notice I'm not picking it up by the handles. No, it after it had time to sit for a while, it's pretty sturdy. I had put some stuff on it here, and I did pick it up with the handles, and it stayed. So there's a picture of me and two of my boys there. We were out on a boat, and the little one there in the picture, he passed away when he was 26. And my son, the other son that's in the picture that you can't really see, gave me that picture after he passed away. So there it is, all nice and pretty, and it looks fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Alright, this vase, this hurricane vase, I've had this for years and years. One of the kids gave me some flowers and had it in that vase, and it's a Dollar Tree vase. So back to the wicker basket. I actually did this one before I did the other one. I had some adhesion problems with this also. So I picked off some long pieces of wicker, cleaned my vase off, and I'm going to take that wicker and I'm going to peel it into strips. You'll see it comes apart really easy. So you decide how thick you want your strips to be. So I wanted them to be a little thicker around the top and the bottom, where it goes around the vase, the full circle. So I wanted it to be a little thicker at the top and the bottom, and then have the thinner strips, going vertical, or kind of sideways, but up and down anyway. So these are real easy to peel. Just take your time, don't rip it too fast, and you can get it the size that you want it to be, and it's very pliable. I mean, it's very workable, whatever, if I even say that word pliable right. So like I said, I did have some adhesion difficulty. Hot glue, glass, and wicker were not very kind to me, but I needed to get it started, and I didn't realize that it wasn't going to stick at all at first. Like I said, I did this one first, or I would have tried to use something else. But the hot glue comes out, it gushes at the top, it gushes at the bottom, and it's just not wasn't a very pretty sight. So I peeled that hot glue right off of that wicker. I mean, it didn't hold it at all. Alright, so the super glue. So if I had more patience, it probably would have worked, but I don't wait long enough. So once I get that stuck down a little bit, Then I grab the Crafter's Closet glue and then a dab of hot glue. All I'm trying to do is get this full circle so that I can stick the wicker to itself. And, you know, like I said, I had a little bit of trouble with it, keeping it down. See, my hot glue just popped right off. It doesn't, you know, it'll hold for a few seconds. As long as you don't put any pressure on it, it'll hold it where you need it to be, you know, temporarily. It's not a, you know, you can't just use it. So once you actually get it to where it needs to be and you get it stuck to itself, you can kind of roll it on top of that area, and that'll help it stay put until the Crafter's Closet glue dries. My problem is I don't give it time to dry and I start to pick off the excess. I need to stop doing that. So I know I do it, and I still will continue to do it. I don't know. It's a definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But I need to be more patient. A little bit more patient. So I'm making sure that I start the top piece in the same place that I started the bottom piece. You know, the same line there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to struggle all the way around this to keep this. It's in fast motion, so you really can't tell how big of a struggle it was, but I really did have a hard time. You can see it just moving willy-nilly, but I do have the Crafter's Closet glue on there, so as soon as that takes hold, it, see, I'm picking, if I just leave it alone. But you know how ugly hot glue is when it dries. So that's all I'm thinking is I don't want that glue, you know, gushing out. I don't want to see it, I guess. But anyways, after this sets, and I believe I leave it set all overnight, I have trouble cutting this because my hand's in the way. I'll turn it around and cut it. But after it has a chance to set for a while, it became sturdy. It's just me and my patience. You know, I expect it to be right now. Give it to me right now. So see, it's so once I set it on top of the seam, I set it so it's on the seam, and then I left it alone overnight. So it still popped up a little bit, but these, I figure these pieces that I'm going to put on it will help me stick it down. But now, instead of trying to stick this to glass, I'm going to be sticking these to the wicker. So and you can bend them. Just be careful because you know, it's pretty small, so you don't want to break it. If you bend it too much, it'll break. It'll snap. So I'm just making it so that it goes diagonal, like a diagonal line. I guess you would call that diagonal, right? Yeah, it's diagonal. And then just making sure that it holds before I move on. Now you can, you know, like put these down, maybe do a trial run on it to see how many you're going to need and then cut all those. I didn't do that. I didn't know if they were going to work, if it was going to work out or not, but because I don't know why I should have put a little piece of tape on each one just to see, you know, how far apart they need to be, you know, yada yada, but I didn't do that. I just kind of went ahead and did it, and it turned out just fine, fortunately, because it would have sucked to have had to tear those off. But I do, you know, I have a little less of a gap, I think, with the last one than I did with the rest of them. So anyways, just make sure that all of your pieces are the same width. You know, when you tear that strip apart, just make sure that they're all about the same width. So This part was pretty easy. The glue did stick to it. I gave it time though. You see me using the silicone spatula there, or whatever that thing is called, to kind of spread the glue around a little bit so I didn't have big glue globs. But once this thing is done, it turns out really pretty. So I want to thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. Look at that, it's already pretty. So I'm going to make a little X design, take my diagonal the other way, the other direction. I like these. I like these when you see these in there inside of a wicker basket. You could, you could always do a lot more. It don't have to be the X's. You could have went on with a bunch of diagonals and then did a bunch of diagonals in the opposite direction. That would look really pretty. You know, so you see them. You want to see that, you know, that they're going the different direction. But it's the getting the wicker to stick to the glass in the first place was the hardest part. But once you get that part done, the rest of it's a piece of cake. It's almost done. So it was a very quick, it wasn't quick for me, but this was a quick video, which I'm glad. They give you the analytics in your videos, and I don't have a lot of watch through times, so it averages up how many hours, how many actual minutes of watch time, you know, so you get, you know, so much of a percent, or it'll give you it in minutes, like and I'm not saying this is mine, but like an average people watch 6 minutes of your video. I'm not sure exactly what mine is, but so, you know, if you're making these big long videos, people aren't watching them all the way through. Maybe they're skipping ahead, or, you know, whatever. So I'm trying to just do a one and done type of thing, but these were short videos. So once I got going on them, they didn't, you know, they went smoothly. So, you know, it's some of the other things, you know, some of the other things that are more difficult to make, that you have to explain more. So, okay, so we're cutting this piece, and I made this piece wider than the rest so it can go around on the outside of these. And like I said, since it's not adhering to the glass, this stuck so much easier, wicker to wicker. And I had a little bit more patience with it as I went. So, and I wanted to make sure I only got just a small line of glue. I didn't want that glue gushing out all over the place. Now that's fairly new gun for me, so it was it's taken me quite a while to get used to it. A lot of the DIYs I've done before, I didn't use a lot of the glue gun, so I still, every now and then, I get this humongous glob. So anyways, this will be the last piece here. You know, again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. I hope you'll hit subscribe. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video, which I'm trying to do 2 a week. But the cold snap came through here, and I don't have a furnace. Our furnace is broke. So all we have are electric space heaters. And it was just downright cold down here in this basement. I just could not, it just couldn't get warm. I brought my little heater down here like I have going now, and right now it's really nice and toasty in here. And here it is, all nice and pretty. It was worth every little bit of effort it took to make it. And you see my top's a little crooked, but when it's just sitting there, you can't tell it. You can only tell it now because of the camera angle. But it's because I'm not perfect. I didn't measure anything out. but it's still beautiful. I think it's gorgeous, actually. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. I hope you'll come back and see me. There it is with some, I believe that's Walmart eucalyptus. I believe it's eucalyptus. It looks really cute like that. Even just one pick in it. Okay, thank you. See you soon. Hasta